statue did it. It killed Zacharias.
Calm yourself now, Sir Charles. You've had a shock. Let the police do their duty.
What can a mere inspector like you do about it? You don't know anything.
A mere inspector? Phew. And now here comes Mr. Holmes.
Lestrade, are you here to receive a prize as well?
Very amusing, Holmes. You can go home. The ceremony's been cancelled. We've got a murder scene here.
Really? And to think I only came here for my prize.
I know, Holmes. I saw your name on the list of finalists. So go away.
You're not going to congratulate me?
What? Do you really think I'm that naive? You turning up out of the blue and then bam, a murder? There's a surprise.
Oh, you're making a spectacle of yourself, Lestrade. Let's just pretend that I am a simple consultant, your humble assistant.
Oh, all right then. A club member, Mr. Zacharias Greystoke, was killed at around 4 in the morning. There. Now, don't mess around.
I promise that I won't, Inspector. What do you make of the facts?
It's quite clear. The murderer intended to steal the Mayan calendar. He was caught by Zacharias Greystoke. He then took up the first weapon that came to hand, the statue's spear, and killed Greystoke. Then he fled, just as Sir Charles was coming out of the club. Unfortunately, we've been unable to find any trail beyond the club's wall. It's as if the murderer vanished into thin air. Well, take a look for yourself.
Traces of metal on stone. A piece of the statue's mounting rod. A piece of the statue's mounting rod. Pieces from the pedestal. The surface is damaged. Traces of metal on stone. The iron mounting rod is broken. It looks like the statue broke away from its pedestal. Money was left inside the wallet. The case is scratched and dented. Tissot watch, Swiss, 1855. This watch is valuable and old. It's been through a great deal. This spear came from the statue on the pedestal. Dry leaves. They make a noise. Zacharias probably walked across them. Dry leaves. They make a noise. Zacharias' folder with some documents. These drawings represent the Mayan symbols. All valuables were left on the victim. The strike was powerful and well aimed. What a spectacular season. Sir Charles, are you able to tell me in detail what happened?
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Well, to prepare for the awards ceremony, I decided to spend the night here at the club. I was sitting alone at my desk when I suddenly heard a loud, metallic sound and a terrible shout. I hurried outside and well, I found the body of Zacharias. And I swear it, I saw the statue of Tekun Uman running away.
You saw the statue running?
It was dark, but yes, I'm sure of it. It was running, and it was making the most horrible metal sound as it did so. And can't you see? The pedestal is now empty.
Did you know the victim?
Yes, of course. It was Zacharias Greystoke. He is... was a club member, and an excellent bowler.
But why was he here so early in the morning?
Oh, I don't know.
Sir Charles, where did the Mayan calendar come from?
It was donated anonymously. We received it shortly before the tournament, with a letter asking that it be awarded to the winner.
Is the calendar valuable?
Not really. It has historical value, of course, but to be truthful with you, Mr. Holmes, it isn't worth very much.
May I go in the clubhouse?
It's members only. I cannot authorize anyone unless that person has a written warrant from the police.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
A broken branch. Somebody jumped into the tree and then over the wall. Scratches on the stone.
What did the police say?
And what about the statue?
I've no idea yet. I imagine the thief must have taken it somehow.
Right, so they were thieves, and they were very well equipped?
Yes, must have been. Then there's also Sir Charles's version, but
Please, go on.
he said this morning that he was alone at his desk when he heard a shout. He went outside and saw Greystoke lying on the ground and... believe it or not, he said that there was no one else on the green that night but the statue itself running away.
You mean that the statue might have killed the victim? Interesting.
Absurd, more like. Besides, it was dark and foggy.
So, somewhat like your version, then. Did you search the clubhouse?
What for? The murder took place outside. You're still here?
It looks as if Zacharias was killed the moment he approached the calendar, and killed by the spear from Tikkun Uman's statue that jumped from its stand and escaped over the wall.
Well, Holmes, your conclusions as my consultant?
My conclusions are approximate to Sir Charles's testimony.
Oh dear, you think the statue did it?
Everything points to the fact that the spear was thrown from the pedestal, and Mr. Greystoke appeared not to notice the killer.
Indeed. The journalists will be ecstatic about your version.
I would like to examine the victim and take a look at his belongings.
Oh, you've amused me at least, Mr. Holmes. Very well. I'll grant you authorisation for the examination at Scotland Yard, but nothing more.
Thank you for coming so quickly, Watson. Lestrade already has the victim's body in the auto.
I'm always ready to help anytime, Holmes. I'm always ready to help anytime, Holmes.
Mr. Holmes?
Please, sir.
The Mayan calendar. Here's a chance to have a closer look. Interesting. What are the symbols here? I'll need to redraw them. Oh, Zacharias had already translated some symbols. I could use this dictionary to translate the calendar's glyphs. They are the symbols that were drawn on the Mayan calendar. The papers from Zacharias' folder. They can help us to translate the Mayan message. No, I think I've missed something here. Cursed will be anyone who disturbs the sacred temple. They will meet their death by the risen statue. Only the chosen will have mercy. It's not only a calendar, it's a curse. Zacharias Greystoke, a member of the club, was killed as the curse decreed. This spear came from the statue on the pedestal. An ordinary pencil. Money was left inside the wallet. The Mayan calendar. Here's a chance to have a closer look. Tissot watch, Swiss, 1855.
I'm always ready to help anytime, Holmes. The coroner mentions in his report some specific cardiac and digestive system damage.
It was a powerful throw. The spear pierced right through the body.
Traces of alcohol were found in the stomach. Apparently Zacharias had been drinking before his death.
This is where the spear entered the body. The murderer aimed for the heart. The weapon must have been thrown by a strong and skilled person.
It's possible that the link between Zacharias and the curse is at the archaeological club. I'll need a search warrant.
These scars are old.
Red eye. It looks like a serious infection. We'll need to get a search warrant to investigate the club.
Aren't you supposed to be investigating those cases of yours instead of bothering me?
Good day to you too, Inspector. I have a small favour to ask of you, a search warrant to investigate the murder at the club.
No, no, and no.
Since I'm without the warrant, I should find something else to do. By the way, do you know if Sir Robin is currently in town?
I have no idea. And why on earth should you even think that I might know that?
Well, I believe I may have solved a case about, let's say, a salacious inspector.
No, it's not what you think. Nothing dishonourable happened. Go on then. Take your warrant.
So he refused to give you the search warrant?
Oh no, I've got it. I won't need you for a while now, Watson. I'll see you later.
I'm curious to know how you obtained this warrant.
There's no need. The statue of Takunu Man. Sir Charles, I have a search warrant.
I see. Here's the key, but I do protest.
I heard that Zacharias was killed by the statue's spear. Why would...
Oh, it's horrible. Do you think the club will be closed?
Sir Charles was once a captain in the Guard. The 50th birthday of Lord Stevenson. Charles Yellingham has a large family. Interesting. It appears that the club is unable to pay its debts to the bank. A message to Sir Charles from Zacharias Greystoke, the victim. Zacharias Greystoke. I wonder who this man is. It's Sir Charles Yellingham, the director of the club. Guatemala, 1881. I don't think this is a bowls tournament. The photograph appears to have been faked or damaged. I'll take it. These antiques look quite valuable. It appears that it's a part of a gold statue from Guatemala. Solid gold. It's worth a fortune. This piece has been cleanly and intentionally cut. These trunks have just arrived. They're from Zacharias Greystoke's antique collection. This metal globe is very impressive. Some bits are missing. Some bits are missing. The late Mr. Roberts' collection. Interesting. The men who own these collections are all dead. The late Mr. Sutherland's collection. The late Mr. Smith's collection. The late Mr. Blinkhorn's collection. The late Mr. Bromsby's collection. Sir Charles, you informed me that you didn't know why Mr. Greystoke was here at such a time.
That's correct. I have no idea.
You have a fine collection at your club, with one disturbing thing in common.
Oh, all the items are from our club members. A murder at my club. A murder at my club. What a disaster for us.
It appears that part has been painted over. I need to find out what's underneath. Let's gently remove the paint with a soft cloth. Aha, there's another person in the photograph.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Look here. There's a person with a swollen eye who was concealed within this photograph. A dispute of some kind, do you think, Watson?
Possibly. But it appears to me a characteristic symptom of a rare tropical disease that is found in South and Central America.
South America! Brilliant, Watson!
Happy to help.
Is it deadly?
Well, there is a chance he survived.
I shall ask Sir Charles, but who knows what he'll say.
I've an idea. There is only one hospital for such illness. The Hospital for Tropical Diseases. I have friends who work there.
Oh, yes?
Well, the chances are slim, but I'll pay them a visit. If he's in London, they would have seen him.
My analysis table. I found this photograph on your wall. You're in it, but do you know who these men are? Particularly the gentleman with the swollen eye.
Oh, him. But that's poor Mr. Albiot. He died from fever during an expedition to Guatemala 14 years ago. We were searching a Mayan Quiche temple, but everything went wrong. We were unable to enter the temple, and the expedition ended in disaster. I'm here, and here is Zacharias. And there is Bernard Marley, another member. He's over there, near the pedestal. By the way, he's the fellow who built that terrible statue. He created it, must have been 10 years ago.
Poor Sir Charles. A crime at his club, it's a terrible thing.
Mr. Bernard Marley, I presume. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I have to ask you about an expedition to Guatemala.
Shh, not here. It's too dangerous. I'll give you my card. Visit me there where we can talk.
Gumballs Road. Keaton Street. Keaton Street.
I'm not expecting anyone.
Cranny Street. Cranny Street. Fresh scratches. A drawing of Takunu Man. This mechanism is quite modern. All the gears are of good quality. Strange to find it in a foundry. No oxidation. This metal arm has never been outside. It's not part of the bowling club statue. Hello there, my man. Is your boss in?
Ah, he's in his office. To the door near the female statue in the corner of the workshop.
Hello there, my man. Is your boss in?
Sorry, I'm too busy to chat.
Something large and heavy was dragged here. A furnace for melting metal. Apparently, Marley has built multiple statues of Takunuman.
Mr. Holmes, you must forgive my escape at the club. It wasn't a safe place to talk.
And it's safer here.
Yes, better here. Not my office. I have secured my foundry, you know.
Ah, reassuring.
Did you know Zacharias Greystoke, the victim?
Yes, he was a brave friend. Such good karma until yesterday.
Do you recognize the unwell man in this photograph?
By Jove, albeit. Yes, that's him. The poor fellow met his end in Guatemala. He was struck down by a terrible disease.
You were friends?
Not really, but he was an active member and a courageous man. Too courageous. You can't fight against the Quiche gods.
And what of the expedition? You were seeking a Mayan temple?
Yes, the temple of Tekun Uman. Another one of Charles's stupid ideas. We found it, but there was some kind of strange force that prevented us from entering. An evil aura. It was Tekun Uman's emanation. We could all feel it. Albeit its disease worsened suddenly, there was nothing we could do. And now, with Zacharias' death, the curse has reawakened.
After 14 years?
Prophecies are timeless, even in the beyond. There is no escape.
What's your opinion on Tekun Uman's statue having disappeared?
I don't know, but I have nothing to do with it. Nothing.
But in fact you do. You made the statue.
That's true. But it was 10 years ago. You can't blame me for that.
Don't you think so? After all, it is the statue that is responsible for killing.
No, it's Tekun Uman. But who could imagine that a simple statue replica would be chosen by Tekun Uman? Nobody.
Did Zacharias believe in the prophecy?
It is not a matter of belief, don't you understand? Zacharias was convinced that we could stop the curse by studying the calendar. What insanity! He sent me a message. He wanted us to visit the club and try to convince Charles to remove the calendar from the awards ceremony.
But you didn't go.
I knew Charles would refuse. Anyway, studying the calendar wouldn't help. Tekun Uman is far too powerful.
Your relationship with Charles Yellingham is...
Not friendly. Well, it is reciprocal. You know, most of his expeditions are failures because he is too focused on his hypothetical career to be in politics.
He has political ambition.
Well, that would be an understatement. He has ambitions for the House of Lords, and the club is his means of achieving this. It's also the reason for his disastrous management. But he still succeeds in finding money. I wonder how. I have to leave you now. I've got paperwork to do. And we've spoken too much. He could hear us. Tekun Uman. Well, goodbye then.